What is up, Yu-Gi Tubers? This is HarpyHunter89, and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. Now, you may be wondering, where's the deck profile? Alright, the cards have not gotten to me in the mail yet. Hopefully they will be here by next week and I can do the deck profile for you then. But because I don't have the cards yet, I decided to go ahead and do my Yu-Gi-Oh! Theories video this week. Now, before we get any further into this, if you are under the age of 16, have your parents watch this video first, so that they can decide whether or not it's okay for you to watch it. Because the last thing I need right now is a bunch of spam in my comment section or a lot of emails bitching me out because I made a video that their kids watched that their kids shouldn't have been watching, okay? So if you're under 16, have your parents watch this video first so they can determine whether or not they want you watching it. Now, as you can see on the screen, this article, or this theory written by someone whose tag is Vigilant Citizen on the website The Truth Seeker, the title is Yu-Gi-Oh! Occult Symbolism for Children. Alright, now I will be linking this article in the description box below. That way you can read more in depth into it if you would like. Alright, so let's go over the basics of this theory. Alright, this first paragraph is just, how the guy discovered Yu-Gi-Oh! The last couple sentences say that he found the plot and symbolism startling, and he did some further research into it and discovered that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is permeated with secret society symbolism, notably of the Ordo Templi Orientis, an occult brotherhood popularized by, guess who? Aleister Crowley. Now, if you don't know who Aleister Crowley is, he's the most famous occult member to ever be known. He specialized in black magic, dark rituals, things like that. I only did some brief research into it, mainly because I know the CIA and FBI and shit monitor sites like that, so they can keep tabs on people who are thinking about joining cults. So I didn't want to really delve too much into it, because the last thing I need is an FBI agent knocking on my door, okay? But anyway, just go into a little bit of description. The Ordo Templi Orientis, or OTO, is a hermetic order modeled after Freemasonry and German Illuminism, or basically the Illuminati, and teaches its initiates the secrets of the mysteries, Gnosticism, sex magic, Kabbalah, and the Thelema. Then it goes on, it goes a little bit into, the connection between Aleister Crowley and the OTO. Let's see here. It says that Aleister Crowley is the most influential figure of the OTO. That he was a practitioner of black magic, which I already said. Let's see here. His controversial persona helped popularize the OTO and even made it part of popular culture. And he's admired by rock stars such as the Beatles and referred to in movies such as Chemical Wedding, and also books as well. It goes on to say that his influence goes further than mere tributes by admirers, and that the OTO has been involved for decades in producing cultural products aimed to the masses. Now that line right there shows that the OTO has been influencing people through, pop culture, movies, and books, and all this other stuff for years. It goes on further to say that OTO members have been engaged in screenwriting for Hollywood. Among the OTO's numerous Hollywood operatives was an MGM producer who used the alias M. Balkin. Now, I don't know who M. Balkin is, but I'm pretty sure he's a big name at MGM. OTO initiates authored mass market stories, especially science fiction, with subliminal occult themes published in popular books and magazines. It goes on to say that it's difficult to establish a direct connection between the staff of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the OTO. So he does cover his base. He's saying that he has no proof that the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is part of the OTO, but he does go on to say that a mere viewing of the symbolism found in the franchise's products is enough to conclude that it is heavily influenced by the Hermetic Order and by Aleister Crowley's life stories and works. So he's actually done some research into this, and he does make some good points. There are a lot of occult symbols in the game. He says the full-length motion picture Pyramid of Light was his first encounter with the franchise. Its story draws premises significant parallels with the OTO's factor in Aleister Crowley's life story, and the parallels are not only found in the movie's focus on Egyptian magic and symbolism, but in many specific details that directly allude to the Order and Aleister Crowley. And he goes on to explain what he means by this, such as the movie's introduction taking place in the Great Pyramid, the Egyptian relic in the movie bears similarities to Aleister Crowley's Steel of Revealing. Let's see here, what else here? That goes into a little bit of how Aleister Crowley came across the Steel of Revealing. He says the upshot was that he began. Okay, that's a little bit more about Aleister Crowley. Let's see here. Go down a little bit. It says the pendants in the Yu-Gi-Oh movie consist of an Eye of Horus inside of triangle, which is probably the most recognizable Illuminati/secret society symbol found today, which is very, very true. The Eye of Horus is a triangle, is found on the Layman of the OTO, which I'm not sure what Layman is. I guess it's like a banner or something like that. And Crowley also used to wear it as a hat. It goes on to say that while Yu-Gi-Oh is hypnotizing children with flashing lights and eyes of horses everywhere, why not sell them a bunch of crap while we're at it? And it goes in to explain some of the products. Speaking of derivative products, the movie also promotes must-have trading cards and even a dual disc. He calls it a card dealing thing, but my only guess he has to be referring to a dual disc right there. Then he goes back to the movie, the clash between Yugi and Anubis, the two opposing forces represented by the upward and downward triangle of their pendants, is also represented as a clash on the astral plane, which is a big thing in occultism and a lot of these cults. Then it goes on discussing the unicursal hexagram. Now it goes in a little bit of detail here, but the most notable mark of the unicursal hexagram in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is of course on this card here, the Seal of Orichalcos. That is a unicursal hexagram right there. One of the most famous field spells in the game has a fucking occult unicursal hexagram on it. Alright, then it explains here a little bit more about what the unicursal hexagram is. Pretty much big in dark magic. It's one of the biggest symbols in dark magic that they draw on the floors and shit like that. Then it goes into character names. Alistair from the Waking the Dragons arc is named after Aleister Crowley. Villian Crowler from GX is named after, guess what? Aleister Crowley. Then Pegasus, he has an Eye of Horus for his left eye, which is extremely symbolic in occult realms. It goes on to explain a little bit about Horus and the Eye of Horus and things like that. It goes, let's see here. It goes into a little bit more about the Egyptian things there. And it says, in conclusion, although Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a worldwide phenomenon with a huge fan base, it goes unnoticed by those who are unfamiliar with the franchise, which is, I guess, is somewhat true. A lot of people know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, but unless you're really into the game, you really don't know what it's about. Then he says, an educated look at the imagery used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Reveals the heavy influence of Aleister Crowley's Thelema and its inherent symbolism. As seen above, the OTO has been historically involved in the making of Hollywood productions and bestseller books to apparently propagate its philosophy in pop culture. And it asked, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Part of that plan? The presence of symbolism that is considered sacred and extremely powerful by occultists in a product that is intended for children is rather disturbing. He says, isn't this what we call indoctrinating the youth? It has been proven that the minds of men must be captured at a young age in order to influence their thinking over the course of their lifetime. And are the youth being prepared for the Aeon of Horus, which is a big thing, I guess, in this occult. By means of the newly burgeoning genre of science fiction, the OTO was able to shape the vision of America through predictive programming, which forecasts an inevitable future, thereby influencing everything from the architecture of our cities to the design of our automobiles and conception of what constitutes progress and liberation in the future. That is very, very true. Then it goes on to say the OTO's ability to transform America consisted in the linkage of this brazen lying with science and science fiction, molding media and medicine in their image and likeness and creating a new Thelemic religion for the masses. It also says occult brotherhoods have often denounced the indoctrination of the masses by religious institutions. Are they different? I don't know. I believe occult. What he's saying there is the occult trying to influence our youth, our children, the young people? Okay. Personally, I think that they are. It's cults. They're very famous for doing this. Now, the question he asks up here. Let me find it again. Pretty much the question is the occult and the Illuminati and this OTO group influencing Yu-Gi-Oh! To try to gain the devotion of the kids playing the game? Now, I've been in this game, 17 years, whatever, since it was first released. Like, I can't remember, it's been so long, but I've been in this game since I was a kid. Honestly, I'm not a member of a cult. Unless, Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself is a cult, which is a very, very interesting theory. But anyway, I'm not a member of a cult. I know, what cults are all about. I never want anything to do with them. And I feel that, if parents monitor their kids, then they're not going to be joining any cults. If the parents raise their kids right, I teach them to respect people and things like that, then I don't think kids are going to be joining cults. Most people who join cults, are, outcast people who, parents are abusive or don't understand their kids, things like that. But I don't think, I think that if the parent is actively involved in their child's life and, kind of teaches them what's right and wrong, then we'll be joining cults. But here's my question to you guys out there. Are these occults influencing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or are these cults influencing the young people of this nation through Yu-Gi-Oh! Are they doing this? This is my question to you. Personally, I don't think it's too far-fetched to think they are. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As always, you guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the section below. And make sure you guys check me out on all of the social media pages that I am on, which will be linked in the description box below. If you've not done so already, I could really use you guys' help. Go and support me on Patreon. Patreon will allow me to do pack giveaways, mat giveaways, and just give back to my viewers and subscribers. That's what the entire Patreon will be used for, just going right back into the channel. But until next time, this is Tahlequah and the voices in my head. We just want to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is life. Which, come to think of it, based on what this video is about, that might not be the best outro.